Hi, you guys. It feels like there is a new day coming, and I feel like I've been doing this very, very similar readings for the past few readings. And I just am gonna take my time and not try and pressure myself to be able to figure everything out in terms of what the message is here, but it feels like there is a new day coming. And let's think about it. In our last video, we were talking a lot about um, soldiers dissenting and people not becoming soldiers, people not being soldiers anymore. And alongside that, there's this unlocking of the creative spirit, and coming back into union with our nature as transformers and shapeshifters and magical beings that are able to work with magic in the sense where it's almost like working with temptation, and the way that the devil is um, seen in this world and the way that snakes are seen in this world and the negative connotation they have attached to them. It really just comes from a place of not understanding magic and not understanding witchcraft. And people back in the day who used to work with bones and who used to work with plants and who understood all alternative forms of medicine and healing, all of them were associated with, all of them would be crucified by really strict religious systems and ways of thinking. But in reality, they were just tuning into the different rays of light that spirit emits. There are different ways to engage with spirit. You can engage with spirit in one way where it's more religious. You can engage with spirit in one way where it's more about loving the planet. You can engage with spirit in one way where it's more about healing the earth, or healing other people, or focusing on your creativity. There's so many ways to be spiritual. And I think that we're tapping back into that and moving ourselves out of a place of a relationship with spirituality where we only feel like we are deserving of God's grace, Goddess's grace, Spirit's grace, the universe's grace, if we are poor and humble to the point of, slipping into the background of a world filled with suffering. We become part of the environment that shows you that there is suffering in this world. It's almost like having to be poverty stricken in order to deserve the grace of spirit. And that is not what spirit wants for us, and that is not it's not how things are meant to be. That's been a manipulation of the system to make us feel as though if we are thriving, if we are abundant in our creativity and in our many paths to spirit, that there is something wrong about that there's something manipulative about that. The idea that there's only one way to know spirit, there's only one way to know God, that there's only one way to know Goddess, that there's only one way to know yourself is ridiculous. That doesn't make sense, because spirit is all. Spirit is everything. Spirit I was going to say spirit is everything but nothingness, and nothingness is everything, including spirit. But I have not explored that, so that's just thought to came to my head. But yeah, this idea that there's only one path is crazy. It just doesn't make any sense. And I think that right now, spirit wants to open up a different path, wants to consider a different lane. And it's funny because this is really a different path. This is not above ground. when we look at the Temperance card here, you have the two sides of self, and there's one above ground and one below ground. Usually when we think about the different paths that people can take, it's usually all above ground, and you go this way, or you want to go this way, 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 you want to go that way. But what if instead of going somewhere along this terrain, you're actually going down? What if you're actually going underground, and that's the path, a path that completely removes you from sight of this world, perhaps completely removes you from the sight of this reality? Would you be willing to take that path? There's also something here around going low versus going high. You know, right now in the spiritual community, there's a lot around high vibrations, raising your consciousness, ascending, all of these things that have to do with going up, up, up. And in some ways, it's just the same as saying go within, go within, go within. But there is a branch of it, and it's a branch that's really dominating. It's the same branch that dominates light and love and light. And that branch creates a hierarchy, and it says going up is better than going down. And there is no way for anyone to tell you what is the best path for you that you don't already know. You have to be able to use your own judgment. And the scale of up to down, there is no good or bad on that scale. It's about the way that you enter those different energies. And if Spirit asks you to go lower, to lower your vibration, to descend into a different world, especially because when we think about descension, also because of religion, you know, we think of hell and all of these scary and bad things. When you hear lower your vibration, you know, that's something that you don't hear a lot of people say. But you do hear people say, get grounded. And you see people planting their feet. And we always talk about roots. So there's something to going low. And it feels like there is a path towards your light, towards your inner self, your knowing, the part of yourself that you can't really see, your light shadow, which is funny because there was a period of time where I was seeing light shadows a lot, kind of around this time last year, but it was really just active last year in general, and maybe the year before that, where I would be seeing light shadows a lot. And those light shadows felt like pieces of our soul coming back together after being separated from themselves because they were always so focused on ascending that there would be parts of themselves left behind, because in order to ascend in the way that we talk about ascension with a hierarchical perspective, something has to be left below you to push you up. You're not just floating up on your own. There's something pushing you up, holding you up. That's energy. That's usually your own energy that you've detached yourself from. So the sight of light shadows and of the light body is a confirmation that your soul is regaining itself and coming back into union with itself. And I think that Spirit is taking you and taking us down a path that is going to reunite us with our light body, with the other half of ourselves. Yeah, I feel like Spirit is about to make us whole, about to make us complete. It's almost like you are about to find yourself. Oh. I feel like we are about to find ourselves, like, because I'm looking at it now, and now I'm realizing that everything is just, there is this reflective energy happening here. I think that Spirit is taking you down a path, and it could be like inner work, but it doesn't, it feels different than that. It feels like, it doesn't feel just like inner work and like healing and acceptance and things like that. It feels like you are actually about to be confronted with another part of yourself, the other half of yourself, the other side of yourself. And it's going to bring this completion or this wholeness that will inevitably force you to completely shift the way that you see yourself and the way that you exist in this world. And it might lead to you having to leave this world for a different reality. Because I feel like in some cases I think that this could be very extreme. It's like being in desolation and poverty and coming across a version of yourself that is like a warrior, or that is like a soldier, or that is like that is just mighty and strong, that's like a knight, and it's very jarring. Or it's like just, living in the shadows and dimming your light, and then coming across a version of yourself that's like a fantastic alien. Like, it's just seeing yourself in a way that is completely new and renews your sense of self as well. I feel like this energy is all being revealed through a light in the darkness. It's like there's this collaboration between light and darkness to help us to see this incoming reality. And I feel like it's like lighting a candle in the dark is what is going to help you to be able to remove the veil and see all of the different stories about yourself that are being told, and all of the different stories about the collective that's being told right now, all the ancestors. I just feel like lighting a candle in the darkness is a great way to reveal spirit and reveal the truth of spirit. I think that working with light and darkness, working with dichotomies, working with balance is a great way to receive downloads right now. Like, I think that you could either like wear opposite colors, like black and white, or I don't know, some other form of an opposite, or deal with opposites. If you channel and meditate on opposites and reversals, I think that you will find clarity, and I think that you will find wisdom there. There's progress in reversals. There's something, it's like you have to look at something upside down. Because there's also this question of what makes the world mean anything to you at all? Yeah, there's just this really big, like, there's just some kind of knowing that's being affirmed. The Queen of Swords. There's just something being revealed. There's something being revealed to us. I think that you're seeing something. I think that we're all seeing something. We are seeing something, and you need to trust that what you are seeing is true. You're seeing something. Trust that what you're seeing is true. Trust that what you're seeing is true. You're seeing something. Trust that what you're seeing is true.